It is a very nice Star Wars speeder bike. It does things. See,
Wait, oh shit, you're not riding anymore. Yeah, no, it's totally a fucking Star Wars speeder bike.
it is.
That's absolutely what it is.
And look at theirs. Theirs is not as cool as mine.
No, that's nowhere near as cool. Why do you have Star Wars speeder bikes yeah, this is Destiny, right?
Yep. It's just the way that it panned out.
I just ask
It
you, this is
surprises me
Destiny,
that
right? I've played a video game or two.
I'm just shocked that Disney hasn't tried to sue Bungie yet.
If they think they can get away with it, they'll probably try. All right. So yeah, you want to go? Everybody good to go? You want to go?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, a resounding yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is DrNiggle. I'm joined tonight by Masami, OmegaConstruct, Zero Burn. And
wow, no intro story. I'm impressed.
No, we just did it. Yeah, I just hit the button. That's it.
Is it that easy? It doesn't require a story to hit the button? I think you've been lying to me, Doc.
I thought that the button wouldn't appear until one of us started telling a story of some sort.
Well, the button isn't available to press again until someone says penis, and then it thinks that the podcast is over. Because that's just how we've been doing.
Okay, well.
I suppose it's an ending in more ways than one.
Hell.
Yeah, gross.
No. It just requires a maid.
Oh gosh.
Or a state certified jizz mopper, as we discussed last week.
Both fine. Both perfectly acceptable.
I mean, however you get
sanitation specialist.
Sorry.
That's a good.
I mean,
title.
whatever brings you to completion.
Hell.
Can we talk about how uncomfortable it's going to be to have a D&D session either next week or the week after that, where Vodek is trying to cuck somebody and Barry's trying to have a four-way Wincest party, and I'm sure that Kadra's going to get some poon in there somewhere too, and even Kevlin might bang the housemaid, who I assume is also dressed like a cat girl. I feel like all of this is just on a collision course.
Now we just need to, have a random female goblin appear so that Bittertooth can get some too.
Yeah, surprisingly, Leetness is playing a character that's asexual, whereas the exact opposite is true in real life. The man seethes with sensuality every time we're on voice together.
You're not wrong. I mean,
it's that accent.
That is true. Yeah, that's kind of a panty dropper, huh?
I mean, yeah, it does mine every time.
Yeah, mine too.
Wait.
No, it's fine.
Wait.
Look, the church doesn't support the wearing of pants. We didn't say anything about lingerie. All right, here.
Our D&D session yesterday was quite fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, there will be more. So much more. Actually,
I mean, there's 2 whole levels you haven't explored yet, so.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be the fun part of it, I think. I hope. As if the last part wasn't enough fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the wacky adventures that my floating skull and I go on.
I love Hairless. I'm so glad I decided to put him in.
Yeah, that's nice. The group has a mascot now.
Oh my God, he is our mascot.
He's a floating skull. That's the whole thing. What did I want to get to? Masami, I forget if you posted this one or not, but did you post the GTA 2? No, you posted the Horizon, the Sony Guffaw.
I think I posted both, actually.
Did you post both? Well, excellent. Yeah, excellent choice. I made a Muppets Tonight reference that no one will ever get. But this is
Are you
actually
kidding me? I love that show.
excellent choice.
Mhm.
Oh man.
This podcast needs a theme song.
I mean, we could just write new lyrics to the Muppet Show Tonight song. It's pretty catchy.
I mean,
yeah. No one's got the copyright on that anymore. No, we'll parody it. That's what it'll be. It'll be protected speech.
I was gonna say,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Can do anything under a parody license, pretty much.
It's time
I
to
love
talk
fair
about
use.
cocks.
I dropped my cheese on that one.
Wait, is that code for something? I feel like that's code for something.
No, I had a baby bell in my hand.
Oh, okay.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Oh. Two in the hand, one in the bush, I guess.
Hell.
The baby bell joke. I could have done that a couple of ways. But I like Cosin.
It's more like a cheese wheel, really. The old Ron White adage.
Right.
I may not touch bottom, but I'll stretch out the edges.
Yep, because chode. Anyway, the last time Masami posted a tweet about Take-Two, the publishers of GTA, suing the creators of GTA 3 and the Vice City reverse engineering projects, which are both is exactly what it sounds like. It's just people that are reverse engineering GTA 3 and Vice City, but they're dumping the code publicly onto GitHub. Let me bring this up. There we go. So this is actually an update of a story that we talked about a while ago, and I think the last time that we talked about this was in June, when the engineering the Eurogame article that I have pulled up is GTA 3 and Vice City reverse engineering fan project back online after Take-Two takedown. So at first, Take-Two was hitting GitHub with DMCAs to try and take down the source code, and now, months later, we're back to it. So instead of smacking GitHub with more DMCAs, now they're just filing a flat-out lawsuit to go after the people in charge of the reverse engineering project. And the speculation behind this, why they're pursuing it so aggressively, is because remasters... I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but remasters are kind of popular. Like, I know one kid in our server who was super enthused about Diablo 2 Resurrected, and then got everybody else into it, myself included. So the speculation is that Take-Two might be doing some remastered versions of Vice City and GTA 3, which, if they're going to do remasters of anything, I'd probably check out Vice City again. I had a lot of fun with that.
Oh, Vice City was a blast. That was my first intro to GTA.
I think mine too.
The soundtrack was what got me. The soundtrack was just awesome.
Yeah. Pop music in the 1980s. Yeah, we had 80s nostalgia before it was cool.
What was the order? Which one was Liberty City?
That was after Vice.
Yeah, Liberty City was after Vice.
Okay, then, yeah, Vice City is what I first got into as well. Played that mainly at my friend's house in high school on the PlayStation. We had all the cheat codes printed out, so you could spawn in any vehicle or and like give yourself all the guns and stuff. That was a different era of GTA versus what we got today, where you got to buy it all.
Yeah.
Or just pray that there's a random hacker spawning jets into the middle of the city.
They fucking ban you for that shit, man. I mean, okay, as much as I like to give Rockstar shit because they don't care about cutting off modders at the knees, when a modder does go into a lobby and someone says something, they typically do go through your account and rip your money out and reset your levels and all the rest of that crap. Of course,
yeah, I was
I can't
in
really
one.
say that's the norm.
I was gonna say a while back, I was playing I forget what server I was on or what day it was, but I logged in and was just driving to the casino, and all of a sudden, just about 30 planes that were all like locked together spawned, and you could only hop in one of them, and it flew all 30. It was absolutely pointless.
I mean, as far I play GTA 5 almost exclusively now just for chaos. So, yeah, you know. I thought you were gonna say the other one that I love is I was just driving to the casino and then all of a sudden I turned into a Ferris wheel.
Now I love it when people spawn cages in my fucking garage.
The cage gag is dickish. The whole point behind that one is that they're whoever's spawning the cages in spawns them in at certain locations where it's possible for you to spawn when you load into a room or when you load into the world. So I've seen that happen before. I've never actually been trapped by a cage, but I have come outside my apartment and there's a cage just like 2 feet to the left of me, and I thought, it didn't work. Hey, you suck.
Definitely had the cages happen to me.
You ever experienced the one where you go to your garage and it's full of animals?
Never had that one.
I went to my
No.
garage
Sounds
once. It was populated by woodland creatures and one beluga whale.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a zoo.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. So yeah, that's just going back to this briefly. The whole thing with Take-Two trying to take these guys to court in California is that the people that they're suing are firmly of the opinion that Take-Two's claim, quote, to be wholly inaccurate. If this is the case, since the code may be functionally identical but not exactly identical, they hold no claim to the code. So they're pulling a vanilla ice here. Their code might sound the same, but it is not constructed the same. So they predict that the owners of the R3 Reaper predict that this lawsuit will go nowhere. But Take-Two's got a lot of lawyers.
Lawyers gotta eat.
They're cannibals. They can eat each other.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, poor guys just trying to reverse engineer a game and have some fun with it. And GTA's got to step in because you're fucking with their money. That's your bread and butter they're fucking with. But that was the first one. And the second one that Masami posted, I took a look at and thought was funny. PlayStation boss Jim, this was earlier this week actually, not too long ago. PlayStation boss Jim Ryan announced that it has reversed its decision. Horizon Forbidden West will now include an upgrade path. This tweet is referring to an IGN article where originally PlayStation boss Jim Ryan had announced that it won't offer a free upgrade from PS4 to PS5 on its standard or special editions for Horizon Forbidden West, which is a big shit deal game that's coming out, and there was somewhat of an outcry. And PS4 turned around and said, LOL, JK. Like, the article really does go into a worst case scenario where Sony is thinking absolutely nothing about how much money it can make, requiring people to buy a copy for PS4 and a copy for PS5 when it becomes available. But I can't say they're particularly wrong. But anyway.
It's just like when PS5 released, Bungie specifically said, no, you're not going to charge our people for an upgraded edition. Sorry, that's not how this is going to work. If they have it on PS4, it is a PlayStation product and you get to keep it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. None of us are particularly heavy console players anymore. So the upgrade thing, I haven't really put that much thought into, but it's a valid point. People are still buying games for PS4 because they still can't get their hands on a PS5, even though that's becoming less and less the case. But there are games slated to come out here, and Horizon is a big title for PlayStation 5. So if somebody bought it on the PS4 and then wanted to play it on their PS5 next year, I don't really begrudge them that. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not their fault that they can't get a console when they're pretty much not regularly or, consistently available, and that the game is being released on a schedule that kind of conflicts with the release schedule here. I mean, how would you like it if you go out and built a new PC with a next gen graphics card, and not that you couldn't play new games on your old one, but you can no longer play an old game on your new card. You got to buy a new version of an old game.
Yeah.
What is this, fucking Skyrim?
Yeah. No, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But at the same time, console peasants.
My sister the other day, we were talking, speaking of Skyrim, we were talking about this, and she goes, I can't wait for the new Skyrim. I said, Carly, you've got every edition of Skyrim. Why do you? Because this one's new.
There is
No,
no
it's
new
not.
Skyrim.
It is the same freaking game.
Who's... Yeah, all right. It's at this point, I'm pretty sure that it's just the completionist in everybody, or yeah, it is. It's the secret completionist in everybody. They want to have like the total Skyrim collection because they're so enthused about it, and it's wonderful that you can be that dedicated to a game. But I don't understand it because it's Skyrim. It's fine. That's a me problem. I never really got with people.
Yeah, I never understood the attraction to that game either.
I didn't like it. I'm more of a Fallout fan. I like having guns.
Okay,
I mean, now
so
I know you can mod the
that.
shit out of it and get guns, but
yeah, there's that. Okay, you bring up two good points. First of all, yeah, Skyrim obviously takes place in the Sword and Board era. There's a romanticism attached to that. I can understand that. And the other one is, you don't actually have to play it as an MMO. It's like, yeah, you can mod the shit out of that game. You can turn it into a you turn it into first-person Warhammer 40k if you really want to.
That game definitely has been modded to hell and back. That is for sure.
And I'll say the most that I know about Skyrim comes from the memes, because there are some funny memes. But yeah, good news if you have a PlayStation. PS4 owners will now get a PS5 copy of Horizon Forbidden West for free. I think it only took a matter of hours after this article came out for that tweet to be released.
It was like about a day because I thought I thought I'd shared it to you, the place where we keep these things, but then I looked back and it wasn't there, and I'm like, oh, that's only a day's difference. That was an about fucking face.
Yeah, it very much was.
Well, Horizon Zero Dawn is regarded as a very good game. I know Kozen enjoyed it quite a bit, so. But he will probably get a copy for the PS or for the PC when it finally comes out many years later.
I was gonna say, isn't it available on Steam already?
Some of Horizon is, but I think this expansion, upgrade, new game, whatever you want to call it or however you want to market it, is a PlayStation exclusive for now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they do the same thing as Take-Two. They put it out on console first, and then we get a ported PC version, which is great. That comes into my mind every time someone starts talking about GTA 6. It's like, yeah, oh my god, GTA 6 is going to be so amazing when it comes to PC a year and a half to 2 years after its release on console. We know how this works.
Right, it gives them a chance to work out all the bugs, because we know games that come out on console first never have bugs when they get ported over to PC.
No, yeah,
Batman Arkham Asylum.
You know, the fun way that I used to be able to tell just before the internet, well, no, I shouldn't say the internet, before I had high-speed internet and before I looked on gaming news websites for these things, I could always tell when a game was ported from console because in the install directory there would be a folder called Cooked. And that means cooked files that were basically taken. That's everything that you need to edit to make your game run on a PC, as opposed to on a console. And that was pretty much every single Mass Effect game that I ever owned.
I still need to buy that. I still need to get Legendary Edition.
Did you never... Oh, we probably talked about this. Did you never get all the DLCs for Mass Effect 2?
I've never played Mass Effect 2.
Gotcha, okay.
My introduction to Mass Effect was Andromeda.
Oh, we did talk about this, and I feel badly every time you say that.
So I need to go back and play the original games so that I have a proper playing of the games, because Andromeda was just awful.
No, I think everybody is far too unfair to that game. It had issues early on, certainly graphically, but like I would say, I'm even more surprised to hear that you didn't like it because you didn't come from the other Mass Effect games. Because one of the biggest complaints with it was that it wasn't like the other Mass Effect games, and a lot of people felt like it wasn't true to Mass Effect. I definitely will acknowledge that it was different than the other Mass Effect games, 100%. I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, the graphics were pretty annoying, those early glitches.
I think my experience got tainted by people who had played Mass Effect before. This was before I had started hanging out with you guys. So I was, it was when I was still in, the clan, and they were there. The guys who I was hanging out with at the time were like, "Yeah, that game is fucking awful."
I know exactly.
Awful.
I know what you mean when you say I was in the clan, but you know what I'm thinking when you say you were in the clan.
Yes, white hoods. Yes, I know.
Different other clan.
Yes. The church does not support the wearing of hoods.
No, yeah, fuck those guys. Omega's right. My whole thing going into the adjustment that I had to go through as a Mass Effect player when I got into Andromeda was that I was used to Commander Shepard. His story in Mass Effect 1 immediately started off with him potentially, you could choose his backstory, but you could make him basically a war hero, or something along those lines. He was disciplined. He had some sort of structure to fit into. It was a game. They were trying to keep you entertained, so you were fast-tracked essentially into becoming a Spectre, which is, kind of badass. And it had that sort of establishment. I don't know if you want to call that like a comfort zone, but Andromeda, nothing like that. You're starting off as a whiny little teenager whose dad had to save him because he's a putz, and he kind of remains a putz for the rest of the game. But that aside, a couple years ago on an awards podcast, on a gaming, it was the year that Andromeda was released. I was on the whatever awards show. And I was the asshole in the room that said Mass Effect Andromeda had a good story, because I did like the story at the time. I thought that the writing of the game and the whole thing of it was pretty fantastic, but the execution got botched. So that was just how I landed on that subject at the time, and I'm pretty sure I would have the same opinion if I went back to it now, even though they've fixed most of the graphical errors, or they say they have.
I know when Cozen got the Legendary Edition and played through everything, including actually Andromeda once he finished everything, he actually ended up liking Andromeda a lot better than he had the first time around.
Yeah, there was also a mechanic thing that I had to get back into, and that was that the pistol was the best weapon in the game. That was not the case in the later Mass Effect games. They learned how to balance weapons pretty well. Pretty well, not great. But yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda comes back around, we're right back to ME1, where the pistol is the most fucking OP weapon in the game. How did we start talking about Mass Effect? Oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, Zero, if you want to get the Legendary Edition, I was also going to say this. I feel a little bit like recommending to new Mass Effect players the way I feel about recommending new people to Star Trek Next Generation. You don't really have to start with Season 1. In fact, it's probably better if you don't. Nothing wrong with Mass Effect 1, but it's an older game. It does still check out, but it pales in comparison to its sequels. I think Mass Effect 2 is probably a little better. Maybe story-wise, but definitely mechanically.
Okay.
So, I don't know, take it as you will. If you can play the Mass Effect trilogy, just go through one's worth of playthrough, I suppose, if nothing else for the story, so that you can feel out Commander Shepard.
Mm-hmm. Feel out. Good job. Appreciate that.
Alright, so you're playing Destiny. I'm gonna take a peek at what other people are playing. Wow, Masami.
You tuned in at the exact most interesting moment.
Was that Cyberpunk?
It is.
Oh, very nice.
Cozen started replaying it, and then it got me in the mood, and they've gone through patch 1.3 dropped like 20 days ago, so I'm like, let's see how much improved it is. They fixed a lot of shit.
Can you still do the thing where you get into your car and then you launch straight up into the air?
I think they fixed that.
Damn.
I know.
I mean, the glitches for that game were pretty hilarious. But Omega is playing the game that I am the most fascinated with.
I'm playing Rogue. This is an old school roguelike dungeon crawler.
You know, when I was watching you a while back play this game, I could not for the life of me remember, but I used to play a quote dungeon crawler on the old IBM portable that my grandmother had that had the two floppy disk drives right on the front that you stuck that gigantic fucking disk in and then locked it in place.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love that thing. In fact, I think it's still at my grandfather's house, and I believe it still works.
I'm gonna hope that somewhere in my garage is the Apple IIe that we used to have.
Oh,
That doesn't have... No, I don't think it does. Yeah, it does. It has the base... No, yeah, okay, it's an Apple II... It can't be an Apple IIe. It doesn't have a 5 1/4 floppy on it. It has two external 5 1/4 drives, which was like serious big dick juice back in the day. You had like dual 5 1/4 serial attached external drives. Like that's just whoa. You must be a serious hacker. It's like, no, I was playing Oregon Trail.
yeah.
I was playing Oregon Trail and Number Munchers.
I was playing Oregon Trail and dying to dysentery.
Yeah. Yeah, I got cholera a whole bunch of times.
Oof.
I'm not quite sure how you do that. Well, I guess that can happen out in the wild. Animals shit into water frequently. Or so I'm told. But anyway, yeah.
Guilty. I mean, oh wait.
Oh, come on, buddy. Yeah, Omega, what quests are you embarked upon?
So, Rogue is pretty straightforward. You are in a dungeon that is. There is a MacGuffin on the 26th floor of the dungeon, and there's, I believe, 4 or 5 floors beneath that have bonus MacGuffin type material on them as well. That you can go get if you are able to survive down into the depths and then make it back out. You win. Pretty straightforward. It's a roguelike, which means you die a whole fucking lot and start over at the beginning, over and over and over again. It's a good time.
It's fun.
Oh.
So I have to admit something today, and speaking of this, the whole. I was sitting and I was flipping through channels, and I just happened to stop on Fox News today. And it was just because I was flipping through, and then all of a sudden had this random urge to take a shit. And Fox News just happened to be where I stopped at. And I heard the news person. I don't even want to call them a news person because that's not what their job is.
The TV personality.
Yes, that's it. Said, and I quote, "Yes, this is not a bug in the current political sphere. It is a feature," and I lost my fucking mind. I died, and I don't know what made me think about it. I think Omega saying that you die a whole lot, and it made me think this is a simulation. Our entire lives are simulations.
It's a feature. Yeah, no, a whole bunch of the Fox News crew follow us on Twitter, so I wouldn't be surprised if they heard that and picked it up. We are the source of many real life memes, as everyone knows. Most popular podcast.
That's us.
I love it.
All right, Masami, can I go back to your stream, or is it just still tits flopping around?
No, there's good city views right now. Some rain, some music.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we're being real, boobs can be shown on Twitch. Just look at Amaranth. Hers are all over the place.
Oh yeah, no. And Alinity, look, we are well aware of how prevalent boobas are on the Twitch platform. That's true. Eventually, I'm actually gonna play this game. Once they're done with the patching, and once everybody's like, it's stable now, the general consensus would seem to be, then I'm gonna check it out. Even though it has first-person shooter elements to it, which I'm not thrilled about, but
you can get over
story.
it.
Yeah, right. If the story's good enough, you can get over it. I can get over it.
Yeah, like I didn't think I'd get over it, but I did. The first time anyway.
I told you, yeah, Masami, you know this. I went back and I replayed through Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Very nearly 100% of that one again. That's the first time that I've been back to a solo player only epic storyline game. And there's a really stupid reason that I did it too. I watched, for whatever reason, I decided to watch all 4 seasons of Black Flag again. And if that doesn't get you in the mood to be a pirate, then I don't know what else will.
I've seen, like, I think part of the first season of Black Flag. It's pretty good.
I did, yeah. I enjoyed it when it came out. I enjoyed it when I rewatched it. First season is a little rough getting into it, and then after that, the character stories are very engaging.
Hmm.
Neat.
And in preparation for Witcher Season 2, I also rewatched the first season of The Witcher, which took me approximately 6 hours.
When is Witcher season 2?
Supposedly October, I think.
Neat.
November. It's supposed to be sometime relatively soon. But yeah, we're talking about this because we're all hoping that Netflix dumps it all at once for the binge watchers, who include me.
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually getting stopped by the cops now, Masami?
Tragic.
God damn it! I'm
Looks
too
like
used to GTA. My solution is just get out the rocket launcher.
out the window, straight up. Straight
I'm
up.
interested to see what they did to the police AI. Supposedly they tweaked it though.
Well, were there two things they needed to tweak? One was the police AI, and two was the police spawning like 5 feet behind
Yeah.
you, nonstop, forever.
Yeah, supposedly they worked on that. We'll find out. That was I'm in the first part of the game where everything's a little scripted, so we haven't hit free roam mode.
Yep.
Because I literally reinstalled it tonight, which thanks to GOG, it saved my save file, which I didn't expect, but
Oh, very nice, GOG. We haven't plugged them for a while.
yeah,
I'm still a
got
big fan. I own a bunch of Anno games and shit on GOG.
nice.
Let's... I did have... Oh, we actually did have more articles. Never mind. I will get to doing that while Masami narrates a little bit about whatever the hell is going on in Cyberpunk right now.
We don't really think this it spoils too much. Thankfully, it looks like there's some dialogue is over, but basically, we just finished a job. Jackie's gonna borrow the car to go take his girl on a date, and I'm probably gonna sleep.
Alright. The one thing I will say this game did, even though I haven't played it, I'm very familiar with all the promotional art that came out for it, and just generally what the game looks like from all the bug reports and the memes. The fucking color scheme in this is beautiful. The way the city is set up is also really excellent.
Oh,
The map
it's
making was immaculate.
fucking gorgeous. That was one of the things I really loved about my first playthrough. Um, just the city itself, just beautiful. So beautiful.
Plus, there's a billion inside jokes in just about every advertisement or.
Oh,
I mean, and Keanu Reeves. How could you not love a game with Keanu Reeves?
He's breathtaking.
he really is.
No,
Oh,
you are.
they actually put in a DLC where they gave him an alternate costume, so I should go activate that.
I was just imagining selling a little Keanu Reeves doll where you could play dress up with Keanu.
Mm-hmm.
We could make that a thing.
We probably
He
could.
may sue us. He may sue us, but we can make that up.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. We totally need to get a hold of him. But again, he follows me on Twitter, so we just have to ask him. How would you feel about a little maybe what do you think, like an 18-inch doll that just comes with a whole bunch of clothing packs from various popular Keanu Reeves movies. So you could have Matrix Keanu tied in with Surfer Keanu with the shoes of Bill and Ted Keanu.
Yeah, oh my!
You can get really creative with this. He's done a wide range of works and had a wide range of costumes. I think this could be very profitable. All right, I'm going to talk to him about it. At Keanu, please respond.
He watches the podcast. He'll respond.
I'm sure. Yeah, of course he does. All right.
Fun fact, if you follow Keanu Reeves on Twitter, about 7 spam bots will follow you back immediately. They don't do anything, but it's all variations on Keanu's name.
Interesting.
It's really weird. Do it and see what I mean. Either that or I'm just, or they've solved it by now and it's not a thing, or I'm just crazy. One of the things is true.
I'm leaning toward the latter.
My mind immediately goes towards something cynical, but I'd like to believe that's just, hey, thanks for following me. Here's some free followers. But
Yeah, I
somehow-
mean, Keanu is that kind of guy, I feel. So could be. I mean, he could have just had people grab all of those.
Keanu's not the kind of guy to violate Twitter's terms of service.
yeah, that's the other thing too, huh?
Keanu would not buy follow bots.
Yeah. Oh well. The point is that the man's amazing. If you want to pay $12.99 for a DLC to give him a different jacket.
Or if you want to pay $12.99 to some guy in India for 1,000 Twitter followers, do that too.
That's right. So there were two. Yeah, there were a couple of serious articles that got posted recently. I noticed. Let's pull this one up. Chivalry 2 developer condemns Tripwire over company president's support for the abortion ban. I think Omega, you posted this one.
Yeah, I actually just posted this one recently. It's a bit serious of a topic. Actually involving real politics and real news and whatnot. The Tripwire Tripwire, the developer behind a number of games, including one that some of us here play, Killing Floor, some time ago came out on Twitter. I believe it was Twitter. Yeah.
Yes. He tweeted, quote,
he came out and said that I felt it was important to go on record as a pro-life game developer. He said he was proud of the Supreme Court for letting Texas get away with their shenanigans and whatnot. And then a number of game developers decided to chime in. Gears of War creator Cliff Brzezinski said, "You can unfollow me now." God of War director said, how can anyone be proud of claiming dominion over women's personal freedoms? And then Shipwright Studios, a co-development partner that worked with them for over 3 years, has broke off their relationship with Tripwire, saying they cannot in good conscience continue to work with Tripwire under current leadership structure. We will begin the cancellation of our existing contracts effective immediately. And then now we get to Torn Banner, the studio who developed Chivalry 2. They posted a statement saying they don't share the opinion of the president of Tripwire. It's not shared by our team nor reflected in the games we create. The statement stands in opposition to what we believe about women's rights. It's this fight that's been going on in Texas is now getting into the gaming world.
Which is stupid, because why... I'm not sure why.
I feel like I'll speak, hopefully not out of turn here, but we can go on record and say that the Church of Chonkwij, I think we can go on record that we are a pro-choice gaming podcast.
We can definitely go on record saying that the Texas law is a bunch of bullshit.
And it's got me reconsidering whether or not how much I want to play Killing Floor 2.
Yep.
I mean, also though, this is the personal opinion of a man who, granted, runs the company, but this is the personal opinion of a man, a person, an individual. He himself didn't make these games. He himself doesn't do these things. And this is a big debate that's happening in the world right now about being an ethical consumer. What is ethical consumption? Do you not support any company that's ever done a bad thing? Do you not support any company that has an employee that's ever done a bad thing? Do you not support a company that has executives or investors who did bad things? Where do you draw the line? And that's a tough question that I think everybody has to find where they will draw their own lines.
That's sort of the thing, because if you dig deep enough, then you're going to find something that somebody did at some point that you don't agree with. So,
I mean,
yeah, if this is...
You got to imagine every company has these battles of mind between employees. I mean, one of the places where we do hear it coming to newsworthiness levels, and it gets actually leaked to the public, is internally at Google. There's been many times over the years where there have been internal discussions, debates, dissent, disagreements among over politics and stuff like that at Google, among employees, between employees, and management and so on. So I don't know. Is it fair to shit on this whole company because the president of the company said some shit? Who knows?
I don't know how I arrived at the decision, but there was a conversation at the time back when I think it was one of the Koch brothers, or it was the president and CEO of the Boston Beer Company, who owns the Sam Adams breweries, came out and made some political statements that I did not agree with, and so I was like, okay, I'll stop drinking Sam Adams. That's not a big deal for me. So I don't know exactly. I don't know where that line is either, but I do know that occasionally someone makes a statement that is so antithetical,
Brazenly stupid?
or just brazenly stupid, that I just think, okay, maybe it's better if I don't support this person immediately, because I don't have to. I mean, I don't have to drink Sam Adams. I don't have to play Killing Floor. There's plenty of other games under the sun. And as long as we're having this conversation about how fucking stupid it was, this asshole came out and said proud of U.S. Supreme Court for green-lighting a 6-week abortion ban in Texas, which is actually not what happened. The U.S. Supreme Court just said that they wouldn't hear it, and they kicked it back down to the Texas court. Omega and I have been playing a lot of Warframe recently. I was thinking about doing a Warframe lowdown now that we've had time to work with the galvanized mods and we're more familiar with the synergy between the new mods and the arcanes for primary and secondary weapons. DE is vocal almost to a fault about their political leanings. Specifically, they lean all the way to the left, like all the fucking way to the left.
They're about as artificially #woke corporate bullshit as it gets.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
They're fully on board that train, and I'm not saying that's not what they believe and whatnot, but the way that they go about expressing it as a company is about as like blatant PR. We're gonna keep saying it and remind everybody all the time. Blah 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 blah.
It's almost cringeworthy.
It is.
It borders on cringeworthy, and it's one of those things. It's like, somebody pointed it out one time. When June happens, when June comes up every year, you've got all of these companies who post rainbow flags and support of the LGBTQ community, which again, I think this is one thing that we can come out and say that the Church of Chonkwij fully supports the LGBTQAI community.
Hell yeah, fuck whoever makes you happy, as long as it's
exactly.
Or nobody.
Or nobody.
Yeah.
Don't leave them out. Don't leave the aces out.
But it's one of those things where every June you see them like, okay, let's take for example Bethesda. Bethesda goes in and literally changes every single one of their Twitter accounts to the square logo with the rainbow flag, except for the ones in the Middle East and China.
There is a whole new area of conversation that could be a lot of fun. Yeah.
So I mean, it's
This
That's
podcast is already banned in China.
that
Yeah.
meme. That meme's been around for a while, and it's funny, but like, there are places in the world where it's illegal
oh, absolutely.
to display those things.
Oh yeah, flat out.
So like, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't understand it,
It's-
because I do. I get it. It's just, it seems like it's one of those things for me that's just like, if you're gonna go whole hog, just go whole hog. Offend everybody.
Look, yeah, I am generally in favor of offending as many people as humanly possible. I can totally get down with that logic. But I also understand, okay, so I could look at that, I could argue that probably in a bunch of different ways. But my two favorite ones coming to the top of my head are, first, you're promoting awareness of a community that is discriminated against worldwide. And you're trying to say, hey, you're accepted if and nowhere else on the planet you're accepted here, and that's a very positive way of looking at that. The other cynical way that I could argue that is that it's a fucking marketing campaign, and they're trying to make as much money as possible because it's socially popular right now to be accepting of the LGBTQ community, especially in the gaming community, because we got our own shit going on right now. So, there's two ways of looking at that. I don't know how I would argue that similarly to a political view that banning abortion after 6 weeks makes a dude proud. If you give me a while, I could probably play devil's advocate on that. It just seems like a stupid fucking statement. I mean, why did he feel the need to come out and say that? Why draw the attention? If you're proud of that in your personal life and that really means something to you, fine. That's your politics. But as soon as you say it out loud, you're opening the discussion up for an argument, and you're going to make people mad. And as a business owner, you're probably going to face repercussions, positive or negative. In this case, seemingly negative. So, good article. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's-
I don't play Killing Floor 2. If you decide to stop that, or if you decide to, start watching this company a little more closely, I'd be interested in hearing that.
I mean, I don't know. End of the day, I kind of a long time ago believe or came to the separate the art from the artist, separate the on the field performance from the athlete.
I mean, if it's something you've already paid money for and you're not paying money further to play it, I mean, fucking go for it.
Yeah.
Hence why I don't feel as dirty playing Diablo 3 as I would playing WoW.
Yeah, because we've sunk the money that we paid for Diablo 3 was paid almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
When things were probably just as bad, but
we were unaware. Blissfully unaware.
Blissfully ignorant. Oy. Oh yeah, somebody said something else popped into my mind, but it's gone now. My mind is a sponge. My mind is not a sponge. My mind is the opposite of a sponge. It's a rock. Nothing gets in.
It's The Rock. Sorry. That's a very bad Sean Connery impression.
Welcome to the Rock. There's no
I'm-
bad Sean Connery impressions, man. You can do, all you need is just a hint of Scottish accent, and you're good. And you did have a Scottish accent once, if you remember.
Yes, back when he was doing James Bond, if I remember correctly.
No, you. had a Scottish accent at one point.
Did I have a Scottish accent?
For a brief period of time, you were RPing a dwarf, and
Oh, I did.
I begged you to do it with a Scottish accent, and you did.
And it was awful.
No, it was great. It was great between your fits of laughter.
Yeah. My little dwarven cannonball.
Oh man. All right. So staying on the topic of women's rights, there was apparently, similar to the California investigation of Activision Blizzard, there was a Swedish audit of Paradox Interactive, which found the majority of women working at Paradox Interactive report mistreatment in staff survey. So it's happening all over again. I don't know if any people here play a lot of Paradox Interactive games, but I should do. It's called City Skylines.
Okay. I was wondering who that was. I was like, I've never heard of this company before.
They are, in fairness, they are a game developer who step in to a lot of pre-existing projects and take over their development, and by take over, I mean come out with DLCs to sell.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's that's one way to make money.
What's interesting is that they are a Swedish company.
Yes, they are.
So this is, these problems that seem to be infecting the game developing corporate world. This boys club, horribly like atmosphere that's just horrible for women. It's kind of pervasive around the world. I just saw this article and threw it out there just because everything that we've gone through with Blizzard and all the stuff we talked about last week with them changing names of characters in games and everything else that's been going on from company to company. It's just, how many more of these stories are going to keep popping up?
Oh, I think we're going to see quite the increase in frequency because it's one of those things that's now it's out there, and it's kind of like the similar in my opinion, it's similar to the Me Too movement, where we didn't hear a lot about what happened, but then all of a sudden there was just slogs of people.
It began a torrent, and I hope that it does happen. If this shit exists like globally, then it should definitely be acknowledged globally.
But yeah, I will be to be clear. This article it says that they reported offensive treatment or mistreatment. It doesn't specify like sexual. So just to be clear here, it's not specifying sexual misconduct. It's just generally abusive in environment. And it could include that. Just the article isn't specific.
Right. The specific details here. Okay, these are the numbers. Paradox employs around 400 people in Sweden, and 133 of those 400 chose to take part in the survey. Of those, 44% claim to have experienced mistreatment. However, women made up 26% of that 133, and 69% of all the women, 69, nice, said that they had received abuse or mistreatment. So yeah, Mega's correct. This does not specify sexual misconduct, but it insinuates that women are at least not being treated the same or equally as men, because far more of them are reporting mistreatment than their male counterparts. So yeah, this is now an ongoing investigation in Sweden, which also, it's worth pointing out, Paradox CEO did step away a while ago. There was a news article that popped up that I didn't put on there because, it was Paradox. But the departure of their CEO at this time has nothing to do with this investigation. We'll see if there actually is a relationship going forward, because I have a feeling this is going to be reported on again. I hope it will. And they cap it off by saying, at this point, we're in the process of hiring an independent and neutral firm that specializes in this process. So, yeah.
Hopefully, it gets better there, and hopefully the rest of the industry continues to follow suit. I think that's all we can really hope for.
ActiBliz was the only company that really got swatted in America, right? I haven't heard anything about any other major developers in our country.
I haven't heard anything else at this time.
On the other hand, I have no idea how EA or Ubisoft or one of the much larger studios would deal with something like this. I imagine they try to probably clamp down on it and make sure that nobody talked about it for as long as possible. But, yep. So, those are 2 happy articles. And then we have straight-up science fiction.
Yeah, the next one's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, AMD files teleportation patent to supercharge quantum computing. So, it sounds neat, but as the article details, we're not talking about Star Trek transporters just yet. Essentially, for anybody who doesn't know, quantum computing, also quantum communication, which was successfully beta tested last year, involves the separation of photons already exist in 2 different places at 2 different times. Through a whole bunch of lasers and mirrors and prisms and cool shit like that, it is actually possible to fully separate a photon into its, I don't know if you want to call them component parts or whatever, but the cool thing about what happens when you do this is that when you have a separated photon, if you affect one, almost miraculously, without doing anything to the other one, it changes in the exact same way. So last year, a crazy guy, I think in Boston, separated a photon and then took one component part miles away and stayed in his laboratory, altered his component, and they observed miles away the same changes happening to their component.
Oh, neat.
So that is effectively how quantum communication works. It is apparently limited. There was a caveat in the article. He says that it doesn't work when you're longer than 60 miles away, and they're trying to figure out why. But assuming they can understand that, you're talking about instantaneous communication between 2 points, which is the stuff of science fiction. That's Star Trek, that's your subspace communications, where you can be hundreds of light years away from Earth and you can speak to Earth in real time. So that's crazy. This patent for quantum teleportation is essentially dealing with the same subject matter. They want to get ahead of how they're programming qubits, which are responsible for quantum computation. They want to get ahead of how this whole thing works, so that eventually, when they have a fully functional quantum computer, which may or may not be commercially available, that'd be neat, they'll have a little bit of juice in the patent department. So no teleportation, per se, but quantum teleportation, yes. That's me nerding out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, hell, that's neat as hell. I don't understand about a 16th of what you said, but it seems neat. Consider me a dumb redneck in this sense.
Everything, this all goes back to some I read when I was a kid, that is apparently much more serious now, where everything is essentially a wavelength. Everything, matter and energy are not as disparate as, colloquially thought. So, if you can picture everything, I think the other thing that was said is our math is 2D, whereas the reality is 3D. So if you can think of everything as a wave form, then you start to understand why the more you know about the position of a particle, the less you know about its acceleration, and the more you know about the acceleration of a particle, the less you know about its exact location. Quantum computing, as I understand it, or quantum teleportation, whatever you want to call it, exists in much the same vein, bailiwick, whatever.
So you're light. We're light, Zero. We're beings of light.
All that hippie bullshit. Come on, you like Grateful Dead?
Okay, look, I like the Grateful Dead, but
We are
I
all
could
star
take or
children.
leave some. Jesus Christ. I could take or leave some of the more radical views of my deadhead brethren and sister. I'm not going to live in a hippie commune anytime soon. Let's just say that.
No, you don't have the hair for it?
Well, on top of that, common misnomer, not all hippies have long hair.
Let's go check in on Zero Cam right now. Zero, what's up? Reporting live from the market. All right. Snow, come on, Masami. Zero's got plenty of hair.
It's
Zero.
It is about ready to disappear, actually.
How long can you grow your beard, though?
I haven't really tried very hard to get it very long. I'm want to, but it's one of those things where it's like, okay, do I really want to put up with all that?
Long hair is a pain in the ass. I've not had it for like 2 years, and it's been a fucking blessing.
I'll
course,
be
I'm
honest. I do want to have a long beard. That is a thing that I want, but the management and upkeep of said beard makes me not want to have it and just do the goatee thing.
I mean, it's not that much. First of all, I can't grow a really long beard. I tried. It was disastrous. But it's not, like, too terrible maintaining a long beard. As opposed to, like, having long hair. Having, like, super long hair. Yeah, I agree with Masami. It's a pain in the fucking ass.
As a kid, I had long hair. I did have. Actually, I had very long hair as a kid.
Pretty sure I had a
Again,
bowl cut for, like, the first 14 years of my life.
Valiant style.
Yeah. And then I hit 9th grade, and I was like, wait, I can just shave this stuff off? Oh, well, we've reached the part of the podcast where I just watch Zero play Destiny.
And be terrible at it, because right now I'm just running around collecting region chests so that I can unlock an achievement.
Well, okay, so I actually thought about this while I was doing prep. I used to really enjoy watching Let's Plays. I used to enjoy watching people like play video games that I didn't really want to play, but I was still interested in. And I don't get to do that anymore. The only time I really get to do that is during the podcast. So this is my weekly Let's Play time.
Nice.
Ooh,
okay. That's
oh,
a nice
nice.
shotgun. That's a nice shotgun. Ooh, it's got trench barrel on it too.
I don't know what that is, but I'm excited for you.
After a successful melee, this weapon gains an increased damage handling and reload speed for a short duration, or until I fire 3 shots. Which this is an automatic shotgun, so 3 shots happen pretty damn quick.
But I am actually going to check back in with Omega.
I am currently levitating and going to use a wand of beckoning to pull this acid mound into the pit.
Why is the game questioning your armor?
11?
Because my armor has secret properties that will be revealed once I wear it for another 444 turns.
Oh, jeez.
Well, each turn is literally moving a square on the map. Like
Okay.
any single action, any single key press is a turn. So like every movement I make is a turn. Every time I attack is a turn.
I swear to God, that's a Sting song.
Hello, polymorph.
Yeah, old school dungeon crawlers.
It's kind of fun.
There's something charming about returning to it, yeah.
Like, if you like the roguelike gameplay style, where you, quite frankly, you die a lot, and there is no saving your progress from one playthrough to the next. Is a single session of the game is probably dying multiple times.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy the process of getting better at the game by learning how the game works, and quite frankly, the RNG factor of a good, a lucky run through the game, basically, it can be fun. You have to enjoy dying. Because
Now-
I've been playing this game for a while now. I don't play it super often. I might play a couple sessions in a week, but I've never, right now I'm on depth 7. The farthest I think I've gotten was probably 9 or 10, and there's the main goal is on 26, and there's extra levels beneath that. So yeah, I've never come close to beating this game.
Next week we gotta play Joust.
Oh, such a fun game.
It really it wasn't. It wasn't.
So infuriating.
Yeah, just smashing your head against the coffee table. Yeah. I was so much angrier as a young gamer.
Weren't we all?
Well, it's because rant time.
Oh no, here we
It's
go.
because games back in the day used to force you to be good at the game. Like Super Mario Brothers 3, that sun level, that shit would fuck your entire weekend.
This is all I don't know if anybody watched the movie Pixels, the colossal heaping pile of garbage that was a later Adam Sandler movie, or a recent, not really recent Adam Sandler movie. But in one of the scenes, he sits down next to a kid who's playing, I don't know, GTA or some open world game or something like that, and he cannot for the life of him understand how to play this video game because there's no system to learn. So yeah, older video games absolutely had a system to them. There were patterns, and like Super Mario is the classic example of this. It's the same game every single playthrough. You are learning a system and a series of timed jumps, basically, to get through a level. And that's, the game teaches you how it is played. As opposed to what you were saying games today, which is, Masami's playing Cyberpunk. When she gets past the heavily scripted stuff, it's an open world. But roguelikes, I guess, Omega, I didn't actually ask you, is this, are the dungeon maps randomly generated, or is it the same thing every single time?
No, it is fully RNG.
Yeah, okay.
It is all procedural generated. That is the hallmark of this genre of game. Like, roguelikes are specifically not a repeatable pattern. Like it is that randomness of every playthrough that, in my opinion, at least, is a hallmark of the genre, and it's fun. It's never a game to take seriously. It's not a game you're going to dump hundreds of hours, maybe dozens.
Cue somebody finding a profile on Steam where someone has 3,000 hours in this game.
Well, it's not a Steam game.
Oh,
This is like a tiny little standalone thing. There's actually a web version. You don't even need to download a standalone. You can go and play it online, and it's the same exact game. It's just done through the web browser.
Oh, okay. All right. I got
Actually, I mean, you can actually watch people playing on that website. Anybody who's playing online, they can have their game just set to viewable public, and you can just watch them play.
Nice.
That's awesome.
But
more games like that, please.
This is just literally it's just a little standalone program that you can download from their website, and it's costs nothing.
I'm fully aware of how stupid this is going to sound, but another similar website that does that is one that hosts Minesweeper. Old Windows versions of Minesweeper, and you can watch other people play, and I have done it, and it's oddly relaxing. I enjoy it for some reason. Man, Minesweeper on Windows 98.
Best game ever. Also, most infuriating game ever.
Yeah, sometimes. There was always that, yeah. Windows games could not be scrubbed from the OS when I was in high school, so they always had the Windows games on them. And then there was the big... Wait, no, was it... Did Pinball come with Server 2003? Or was that first introduced in Vista or XP? Or, sorry, Vista or 7?
It was...
No, it was in XP. Pinball was in XP.
No, it was in XP. And then they took it out. Pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I was one of them. Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? That pinball game was great. No, yeah, so that's what... Between that and 4chan, that was pretty much my computer science experiment, because... because we learned Visual Basic, and I was done with that, and then they tried to teach us ActionScript, and I was like, this is going nowhere. And lo and behold, no one knows what ActionScript is anymore.
I've never even heard of it.
ActionScript was the preferred programming language for Macromedia Flash. You remember when Flash was owned by Macromedia?
I do.
Yeah.
It seems like now it's an Adobe product.
Yeah, and Adobe promptly ditched that because JavaScript was already a thing. And so was Python, and so was Ruby. And they were just like, we can probably do a lot more with these languages than we could with customized ActionScript. And then YouTube stopped using FLV containers.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's all MP4. Good times! Oh, actually, there was one more thing. Okay, so there was an article that I pulled up because I saw it, and I honestly thought it was stupid. Question to the group: have you ever played a game so much that it pops up in your dreams?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
too.
very emphatic.
Yes.
Everybody's done that. So, PC Gamer, which is ostensibly a news site, decided to ask people in their forums about the dreams that they had and then just shape an entire article around it without going into very much anything at all. So, just briefly, let's pop over to this website, which nobody knows exists, which is the ncbi.nlm at the National Institute of Health.gov, which houses scientific papers, scholarly articles, peer-reviewed articles, some exploratory studies. But an article, a sleep study published in 2018. I've got the abstract pulled up. Just basically details what we tried to learn about video game exposure and sleep in post-sleep cognitive status. And we pretty much figured out that, playing video games increases your total sleep time, the amount of sleep that you need, and let's see. Video games, in fact, this is from the abstract. Video games, in fact, can bring to insufficient and low-quality sleep with possible effects on cognition in subsequent waking days. Potential methodological flaws and limitations of these studies have also been described and discussed. Because a very limited number of available studies on this topic, further research is strongly needed. So the reality is, we don't know shit about this. But PC Gamer decided to put an article about where they just talked about, your dreams. But I just thought this whole thing was stupid. Even though, yes, I have played a video game so much that I've had dreams which take place in the video game mechanics, I suppose. Not exactly the video game, but yeah. How about you guys?
I played Destiny 1 so much that I dreamed I was a guardian. That was a thing. Not one of my prouder moments, but it happened.
Were you good at being a guardian, or were you
I
falling
was
over yourself?
I mean, I was much better than I was in the actual game.
Alright, Omega and Masami, you both emphatically said yes as well. What about you guys?
I've had when I was deep in Subnautica, I had Subnautica dreams. No pun intended. Deep into Subnautica. No, when I was playing that a lot, heavily on my first playthrough, I definitely had dreams about that. Absolutely. Back when we were really into Space Engineers, that was not uncommon. I mean, it wasn't like I was dreaming about that shit every night, but I had at least a couple Space Engineers dreams.
No, Masami?
Nothing comes to mind specifically right now, but I tend to not remember my dreams a lot, even though I'll have them, other than I know I had them. But usually if I spend over 50 hours in anything, there's a decent chance I'll dream about it. Like apparently I put in 100 hours on my first playthrough of Cyberpunk. I didn't even finish that save file, to be honest. I'm actually starting brand new because I want to see the stuff from the beginning, but I'm sure I had Cyberpunk dreams. I mean, just about anything that I do hobby-wise usually ends up in there. I'll dream about D&D, I'll dream, yeah, if I read a book, I'll dream about being in the book. That's just how it goes for me.
So it's interesting. So you guys have dreams where you're in the universe, or you're a character related to the universe or something? Is that what I'm hearing?
Basically, it's like I'm there. Not like me playing in my dreams, but me literally, my brain has recreated the universe and I'm going around doing whatever it is.
So my thing, I had it's weird because one of the first testimonials here is about, or one of the first stories here is about city skylines. I have had games related, or sorry, dreams related to games, but it's always like if I play a whole shit ton of city skylines, I am going to have a dream, like this person says, about designing junctions and doing traffic work, basically designing a traffic flow system for a city. I will have a dream where I am trying to construct a system that fits in line with the game mechanics. The same thing with Space Engineers. I'll have a dream where I'm trying to construct systems or objects using the building system of Space Engineers. So I don't think I've ever had a dream where I've been like Connor Kenway in the Assassin's Creed universe or something like that, but I've had a lot of dreams where I know how to create something using a set of tools, and that set of tools appears in a dream, and I'm tasked with, like, creating something. So I'm just going to chalk this up to how our brains work and how they idle. But yeah. Good times. Alright, what are we up to? I switch back and forth from Discord so that I can actually see this game. Hey, you're at depth 9.
Yeah, I'm currently running from a zombie, which is really a higher level enemy that I've faced yet. And I just stepped on a caustic gas pressure plate, and now I just stepped on another pressure plate. Let's see what that did. Another caustic gas, and oh hey, look, I'm trapped in a little narrow space. Hopefully that caustic gas is gonna fuck up that zombie for me. It did a little bit, but shit, I don't want this fight to happen. God,
Jesus Christ.
I got trapped in a corner. Yeah.
Dude took chunks out of you.
Yeah, he was way high level. That's my second best playthrough.
Damn. Well, you got to
Oof.
depth 10. Yeah, your best is depth 10. Still, pretty cool.
So that's
Yeah,
broke.
that's really
I
nice.
can save. Here, check this out. I can save a recording of it. Watch this. Let's see. This was this playthrough that I just did.
Did you just pause right that you're looking at an ogre jelly or something?
I don't know why the
Okay.
playthrough pauses sometimes.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Oh, you
So-
fought a
That's
kobold.
Yeah. Kobolds are like the base level easy minion in this game. Goblins are rats are the base level vermin. The wolves or jackals are quick and like to hunt in packs. Then the next level, monkeys. They're assholes. They'll steal your shit, and then they're like, if they hit you, they'll steal something, and then they'll run away, and you can't catch them unless you corner them or you use throw-on weapons to kill them. They're really annoying. Oh yeah, I got hit by a bloat that like opens up a cavern that I fell through, so it dropped me to an extra level there.
But then you defeated the centipede.
Centipede!
Oh, I'm hallucinating here. I got hit by a toad. Toads make you trip balls.
Nice.
You don't know what enemies are or what loot is on the ground. They like change every turn.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh yeah, I wanted to get that key, but it's inside a cage. So I threw a junk weapon on a pressure plate to open the cage, got the key.
Look at you being resourceful. Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, fuck that monkey. Go into the treasure room. Picked a ring of clairvoyance.
I love that. Fuck that monkey.
Goblin conjurers can be tough, but if you kill them, all of their summoned swords die as well. Yeah, I had a potion of telepathy, so I could see all the enemies. Killed a sleeping monkey.
I I think this is where I came in. Because I recognize the giant lava pool. I assume it's a lava pool.
Yeah, I told you that's where I used the wand to pull somebody into a lava pit.
Yeah,
Nice.
okay.
This was a good playthrough. It's one of the better ones I've had. I mean, it's the second best I've ever had, yeah.
Well.
I mean, there are entire depths and classes of enemies that I have never even fucking seen. Never come close to seeing.
Oh, sure. I mean, you said the main objective is on 26. You've gotten halfway there.
Yeah, not quite halfway, but getting close to halfway.
All right, well, we're going to wrap this up. We're going to wrap up the podcast, but we're probably definitely sticking around to do stuff. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. There is no outro, penis. We'll catch you next week.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Masami, penis.
Popsicle.
Nice.